Where's Bobby? Huh? Where's Bobby?
Bobby, Bobby,
No.
Shay.
No idea. You can't be.
Bobby, Bobby, Shay.
Where's Bobby? Stop, Bobby. Rufito, have you seen your brother? Bobby.
Bobby, Bobby,
Bobby.
Shay.
Bobby.
Bobby,
Bobby.
Bobby, Shay.
So welcome to my soon-to-be urban garden. We're not at the Eco Backyard Farm right now. So this season's episodes on YouTube, we're entering or undergoing somewhat of a shift in giving out information. So we're going to give out more information via our videos, but it's still limited because if you want to learn more of the in-depth step-by-step process of organic farming or pure organic farming, you can always purchase our books. So all of them are placed at the end of this video.
We need to wake up. We need to wise up. We need to open our eyes and do it now, now, now. We need to build a better future. And we need to start right now. On a planet that has a problem, we've got to solve it, get involved and do it now, now, now. We need to build a better future, and we need to start right now. We need to build a better future, and we need to start right now.
But why start with ecological farming? Well, as it is now, our Mother Earth is slowly becoming polluted with harmful synthetic substances that do not occur naturally in our environment, but that are widely used in present-day commercial farming. We have synthetic fertilizers, insecticides, fungicides, and herbicides. These products are not only getting into our food chain, where they have many harmful side effects, they also hurt the rest of nature. Our streams and rivers are being polluted by the runoff. Biodiversity in terms of flora and fauna is dwindling. Genetic material is being lost through genetic erosion, and When soil loses its soil life and becomes a dead and impoverished soil on which plants only live because of the synthetic fertilizers they are fed. But what is worse, these negative effects also cause a large percentage of the greenhouse gases being released into the atmosphere, thereby causing global warming. Synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, for instance, kill our soil and soil life, with the result that our soil loses its natural ability to retain carbon dioxide. Big-time industrial farming greatly depends on petroleum products to run heavy farm machinery, with the result increasing emissions of CO2 into the atmosphere. The proliferation of dense industrial livestock operations in turn results in increasing emissions of large quantities of methane. Add to these the conversion of forests into pasture land and industrial plantations, etc., etc. The increase of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere has a big effect on our climate, which manifests itself in climate change. We get more and more confronted with super typhoons. Temperatures increase, leading to drought and even water shortage. We experience a higher incidence of plant and animal pests. Sea levels rise, leading to floods and crop destruction. We are increasingly faced with unexpected changes in rainfall, making it actually hard to plan our agricultural activities, etc. According to the 2013 UNCTAD report, Wake Up Before It's Too Late, these greenhouse gases can actually be mitigated in order to reverse climate change. But for this to happen, a fundamental transformation towards climate-friendly agriculture should first take place. Agroecology, organic farming, and sustainable production methods that are respectful of nature. Mark Smallwood, executive director of Rodale Institute, even argues that if we would use all arable land globally in an ecologically friendly way, we would not only bring down the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, we could actually mitigate and even reverse the effect of climate change. In order to appreciate what Mark Smallwood claims, we must first take a closer look at how nature works. Data from the Center for Climate and Energy Solutions shows that the vast majority of greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, followed by methane and nitrous oxide. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency sets the percentage of total U.S. greenhouse gas emissions for 2012 at 82% for carbon dioxide, 9% for methane, 6% for nitrous oxide, and 3% for F-gases. The biggest culprit of climate change is thus CO2. And that's where organic farming can contribute big time, because a vibrant soil with soil life and humus has the ability to hold CO2 and so keep it out of the atmosphere. how does this work? Plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere through their leaves, while they draw water from the soil through their roots. And they absorb the heat of the sun through the chlorophyll in their leaves. This gives them the energy to convert the CO2 combined with the water into glucose and starch through a process of photosynthesis. This glucose and starch in turn serves as food for the plant, which gives them their needed energy. In return, the plants respire oxygen into the atmosphere. The carbon dioxide that is not utilized in this process of photosynthesis is discharged by the plants through their roots, where it is stored in the soil. This CO2 in the soil becomes feedstock for our soil life, while the surplus remains sequestered inside the soil as soil organic carbon that is tied to the humus in that soil away from the atmosphere. That means, as long as our soil is alive, teeming with vibrant soil life and organic materials, our soil has the ability to sequester and retain carbon dioxide, thereby diminishing the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. So, come to think of it, the building up of organic matter in our soil is the least costly yet most natural way in which to mitigate climate change. But we can only do this through organic cultural practices. On the other hand, if we continue using commercial farming methods that heavily rely on synthetic means, we will not be able to build up humus reserves in our soil, since we will be relying on synthetic fertilizers that are already mineralized instead of on organic materials such as, for example, compost. As a result, our microorganisms will die of hunger because they do not live from mineralized synthetic fertilizers, but rather from organic matter which would be absent from the soil. In addition, we will be employing chemical pesticides and fungicides to protect our plants from pests and diseases, thereby poisoning whatever microorganisms that might still have survived. In other words, we will end up with a soil that is dead, and a dead soil cannot sequester, much less retain carbon dioxide. Thus, the carbon dioxide will evaporate into the atmosphere, causing global warming and climate change.